Job, Job chapter 2 verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. So this video is about Job's wife, and you gotta pardon the spots under my my nose. I got some cold sores from the flu. It looks terrible, I know, but I just want to make a quick video about Job's wife, divorce. Divorce and remarriage is a very controversial issue in the church. The Bible does give one reason. Jesus Christ gave one reason for divorce, and that was for fornication. And people say fornication is not adultery, and they say you can't commit fornication once you're married. But in the Bible, fornication refers to a whole bunch of sins. In the New Testament, when Paul was writing to the church, one of the churches, he said, I hear that there's fornication reported among you, that a man would have his father's wife. That, by definition, is adultery on her part and fornication on his part. So fornication covers a whole bunch of sexual sins. So for sure, with sexual infidelity, sexual sins, you can divorce. But then they said besides that, there's no other reason. I believe there are more reasons, more common sense reasons, but I think that God was dealing with people who just wanted to divorce their wife, men who wanted to divorce their wife for anything, any reason. So that's why they asked Christ, can a man divorce his wife for any cause? They weren't thinking in that society, women didn't mouth talk to their husband, the women knew their place, their roles. So, when a man divorced his wife, it was for a very, very serious issue, very, very serious reasons to get a divorce to begin with. So for any cause, they meant for any cause. Because men were men, women were women. Okay? It was that kind of society was, patriarchal, so for any cause, they meant for any cause. You know what I'm saying? Any flimsy cause. So I would say if a wife is not being a wife by definition in the Bible, respecting her husband, then she's not a wife. And if a husband is not loving his wife to the point where he'll die for her, it's not a husband. Providing for her, protecting her, it's not a husband. So you can't, if a man divorces a woman who don't respect him, I'm not saying that should happen, but let's say that happened. She's in the house causing chaos and everything, disrespecting him. I mean, you didn't divorce a wife. I don't think so. But out to Job's wife, though, I've heard a preacher uses Job's wife as an example of never to divorce. That, it's not recorded in the Bible that Job divorced his wife. And and it says, and he says, well, when Job, got back everything he had, and plus more, more animals, and he had 10 more kids, he implied that it was with his former wife. And I'm thinking, how was that even possible? That this lady would have, his wife would have 10 more kids. That itself is a notable miracle. That itself right there is she had 10 kids before, so she had 20 kids, right? That's something to be mentioned, talked about, in the Bible. And his wife, gave birth to 10 more kids. God blessed her and God opened up her womb, but it just said that Job had 10 more kids. I argue that it was with a new woman, a new wife. I say that the Bible said that Job lost everything. He lost everything. And his wife said to him, why are you holding to your integrity? Curse God and die. She cursed God too. That's the only way you're going to tell someone to curse God, right? Because he cursed God too. So she turned her back on Job, turned her back on God, okay? And it doesn't say that they got back together, but it doesn't say that they divorced either. True. But, a common sense thing would be that, if he lost everything, when Job's friends came and tried to comfort him, she was not there. She was nowhere to be found. The only thing recorded of her is that, she said to him to curse God and die. So I don't see how they say that, he would get back with her, and then she would even have 10 more kids. So again, that in itself is a miracle. That in itself is worth more more men shouldn't have, more, you know, that's first she'd have 10 kids first. They all die, and then she have 10 more kids. That's not something you just say, and Job had 10 kids. It'd be like, Job, and God blessed his wife and opened up her womb, and she had 10 more kids. So I believe that it is with another wife. He got everything new, and he had a new wife. The wife cursed God, and she basically turned her back on God. So, if Job lost everything, he lost everything. So I'm not a proponent for divorce. I'm just saying that I believe that there's certain other things besides fornication where divorce is necessary. Okay, people will say that you can't divorce for any reason, and that fornication is not adultery. And the people who say this are people who are usually men that have wives that are obedient to them, which is the way wives ought to be, obedient to their own husbands, right? But the men that say this are men who have wives that obey them, and they just say it because they can say it. They don't live with a woman who disobeys them, who backtalks them, disrespects them, wherever, say whatever she wants, does whatever she wants to do, equal rights, they don't know that, so they say what they want to say. So I believe that you have to, the Bible tells us, what a wife's role is and what a husband's role is. Okay? If a wife is being a wife, right? And she doesn't commit fornication, and her husband divorces her, he's in trouble. But if you have a wife and she doesn't commit fornication and she's being a devil anyway, or if you have a husband who doesn't commit fornication but is being a devil, what's the purpose of staying with that person? What is the purpose? If you leave that person, how are you wrong? How are you wrong to leave a devil? How are you wrong? No, there are some women who stay with devils, and in the end the devil turn around, and there's some men that's the same. They just love their wives, and the wife turn around. That's great. But if that person leave that devil, okay, I'm sure God is not up in heaven saying, you should have, separated and stayed by yourself, not remarry until the person dies. No, I don't believe God is that unreasonable. Okay, it's not about happiness per se. It's about trying to live the best life you can for the Lord. And if you have somebody in life who's constantly tearing you down, or even trying to have you go against the Lord, outside of committing fornication, that's just even worse. Being an adversary in your life, and not a having a wife that's not a helpmeet, but an adversary. Having a husband that's not a provider, but an abuser, for example, or an absentee husband or something. I believe that there are more causes, mosquito, for divorce based on the fact that there's a definition for a wife and there's a definition for a husband, and we have to be those things first. If we're not those things, if divorce comes, I don't think that God is unreasonable with that. I don't think that God calls us to suffer. It says marriage is a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Marriage is honorable and the marriage bed undefiled. So marriage is a good thing. It's not a curse. So you get married to somebody, it should be a good thing. It should be, we look at how God said marriage should be, and we obey the rules, and that's it. If we're obeying the rules, then nobody should get divorced. If you're going by the rules, you don't break the law, you shouldn't get arrested, you shouldn't get prosecuted. Right? But if you get prosecuted unfairly, that's not good. And God, plead your cause before the Lord. Okay? Alright, so that's just my thoughts on Job's wife, divorce, and all of that. Have a good day.